Have your attention here in the media center. We'll keep it going with our media availabilities for the Fred's 250 here at Talladega Superspeedway with 3 of our NASCAR Cape World Truck Series playoff drivers. We're joined by Chase Briscoe, driver of the number 29 Cooper Standard Ford, Austin Cindric, driver of the number 19 LTI Printing Ford, and John Hunter Nemechek, driver of the number 8 Fire Alarm Services Chevrolet. Guys, a lot in the weekend, a lot on the line this weekend as we head into our first elimination race. Chase, I'll start with you. You're 5th in the playoff standings, and you're making your track debut here at Talladega. How do you feel heading into the weekend?
Yeah, I feel like this is one place that's definitely kind of a lottery race, especially with it being the elimination race. But I feel like, we're obviously in a better spot than a couple other guys. So I just need to try to take advantage of that. I feel like if we can just finish the race and get some stage points, I feel fairly comfortable that depending on who wins and who runs up front, that we'll probably advance. But at the same time, we've kind of put ourselves in this scenario from how we ran at Loudon. But there's going to be a big wreck here. You just gotta be lucky enough and fortunate enough to miss it. And if you can do that, I think you're move on.
Austin, I'll move over to you. You're right above the cutoff line right now, but you do have some experience racing at Talladega as you raced in this race last year. How comfortable do you feel heading into the weekend?
I don't think you could say that anyone's comfortable, especially if you're right above the cutoff line. I mean, you look at how stage points are seriously affecting how the playoffs work. Chase is 10 above, I'm 8 above, and you can easily gain 10 or so points on guys just by how you're running in the pack. So it's a bit nerving, but you just have to run your race weekend like you usually do, and hopefully we put ourselves in a position where we're out front and away from the mess.
And John Hunter, you're no stranger to the playoffs. You've won 2 races this year. What is your mindset heading into this race this weekend?
Well, we're seated 8th right now. We have some points to make up, but the stage points definitely play a factor into this year. If this was last year, it'd be a must-win situation. So definitely not a must-win situation for us. We're just going to go out and do the best we can. We stayed a lot at the shop this week, late nights, working on our truck, making sure that everything that's in our control, we eliminated all mistakes. So we just have to run our race, hopefully run up front, win stages and win the race. That would be the best thing for us. So, but the biggest thing is just to finish the race, and from that, everything else will work out and everything will be meant to be at that point.
Great. With that, we're going to open up for questions, and we're going to start over here to the right with Lee.
Chase, I heard you had your rookie stripe taken off on the boulevard last night, and Hillman took you into the infield. Can you talk about what your first experience was like?
I've seen things I've never seen before. The boulevard, I'd always heard about it. I think it was kind of dead for a Thursday night, but it was definitely an eye-opening experience to say the least. I'm definitely looking forward to tonight. I think they're having the UFC fight or whatever, so I'm probably going to go check that out. But Hillman definitely knows how to get around the boulevard, that's for sure.
Do we have more questions for our playoff drivers? We'll go to Caleb and then to Jessica.
Caleb Whistler, KickingTheTires.net. Austin and Chase, how much do you lean on Brad Keselowski, who has success at these restricted plate tracks with y'all's limited experience at these tracks?
Yeah, I think with super speedways, I think the first thing you think of when you think of Brad is he's the guy always leading the pack and knows how to lead, and I think that's the best advice he can give the two of us is if we're in that position leading the 2 packs. So how do you mentally think about that situation? Just listen to Joey talking about it earlier was a bit of a good refresher because it is such a task. I was actually able to we went off strategy last year, and I got to lead the outside lane for a while, and that was a good experience for me, but obviously to find ourselves in that position is going to be a positive, and hopefully we can find a way to stay there.
Yeah, just to add to what he said, I think, Brad's obviously really good everywhere he goes, but I feel like he's really good on super speedway stuff, and not even as much as talking to Brad, but as much as just watching, past races from Brad. I think you can learn a lot, especially I don't think the truck race will do it, but, when it gets single file around the top, I think Brad's really the only guy that knows how to work his way up through the field. So just watching and then asking questions, obviously having Brad in our back pocket is definitely a big deal. So definitely lean on him throughout the weekend.
We'll go to Jessica, Chris, and back to Lee.
Jessica Ruffin with NASCAR.com. This question's for Chase. You talked about, sorry, I'm behind the camera. You talked about, Talladega kind of being a lottery, and with you never racing at Talladega, but you have raced at Daytona, got a 3rd place finish there. So I guess my question is, what kinds of emotions come into play with that unpredictability, and then kind of a little bit of comfort that you did do well your first restrictor plate race, but then you also have the elimination coming.
Yeah, it's as nerve-wracking as can be. I think here in Daytona are the two most nervous places I go to. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm all tough. I mean, it is scary to come run here in Daytona, I think, just because you do know what can happen. You know that, when you strap in, you know that there's going to be a huge wreck. You just got to hope and pray that you're not in it. But, I mean, I don't think you can really lean on, comfort from past success here because there's so much can happen. And it's not even so much what you do as a driver here as it is just, if you're fortunate enough or not to make it through the wrecks. So I don't think there's any extra comfort going into this week just because I've ran good in the past. I think you got to go out there and just be praying the whole race that you don't get caught up.
Chris, go ahead.
Chris Knight, CatchFence.com. I guess this question for all three of you guys. There was a lot of chatter this week coming in that practice was going to be limited for the truck series because a lot of the teams were only bringing one truck. Is that the case, and how much do you guys expect to practice today, knowing what's on the line for tomorrow?
I know the 29 personally, as long as we don't have any issues in the first practice, we're just going to sit out the whole second practice. Here you're not going to be making any changes really to go any faster. So I think our plans is to maybe run 8 laps in the first practice and call it good. I don't think that you're going to be making any big adjustments to go handling wise any better. I think the biggest thing is we have the new deal in the back with aero stuff in case we spin out. So I think everybody's kind of curious on how much different they're going to side draft and how much different they're going to draft. So we'll try that out in a pack and then probably call it good.
Well, there's that unspoken social dynamic when you go to super speedways that everybody lines up in a pack right as you unload off the trailer. So everyone's pretty much just going to wait for that big pack to settle up, and that'll be the best pack you can get in. So that's just going to be us waiting for that, and then I'll practice hitting pit road, and we'll box it up and hope for the best.
Yeah, we're on the same page. Just going to run a few laps, make sure it drives right, make sure the truck doesn't do anything crazy in the draft, and put a cover on it and call it a day.
We'll wrap up here with Lee.
LeeSpencerMotorsport.com. John Hunter, these two, clearly they're teammates. They've got somebody to work with. Who are you going to work with? I mean, what's your game plan being a single-car team?
Hopefully we're out front leading it. But I don't know. There's some great guys that are in the field, some veterans. I know Johnny Sauter is a really good friend, Matt Crafton, Christopher Bell. So there's been a few guys that I've been able to work with in the past, running at Talladega twice and Daytona twice. So just being able to work with them in the draft in years past, I think that we all gain respect for each other, and you kind of know how everyone's going to run compared to some of the rookies that have never been here or only have one super speedway race under their belt. You as being in the series for a couple years, you don't exactly know what they're going to do in the draft or what mistakes they might make, etc. So you kind of just have to watch out for that. So I think we're going to kind of play it safe. I mean, we have to be aggressive throughout the race to make sure that we gain as many points as possible. But I think that you're going to look to see us with more veterans than anything.
Gentlemen, thank you for the time, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.